was when I told you to mount the handlebars to the headboard and put the jar man. Oh.
Wait. Hold on, buddy.
Hi, kids. Hey, kids. It's the Maximum Effort Podcast. I'm Dave.
I'm still Adam, boys.
God, he's just hanging in there with that, isn't he?
Like a thread.
One day, man. One day.
Holding on.
One day we're going to get you to be Mick Foley.
Bang, bang.
Bang, bang!
We'll get there.
Okay, so we failed hard. We didn't really put one out last week. Well, we did, but it took a while.
It was a week late.
It was a week late, and that's on me because we went to Parts Unknown for a little while, and me and the exec. That's how I get the perks. I'm with the executive producer, so hey,
has to do it right.
Right. I'll take that hit for the team.
Fair enough, I guess.
I'll go willingly.
Good call. Well played.
Right. So, yeah, but we did get it out this week. So thank you guys for being patient with us because we're retarded.
Yeah, it happens.
So
we'll get there though. I promise.
We are.
Eventually, we'll get in a rhythm.
We're working there, but I would say the big thing that happened this week is we got the YouTube channel running, kids.
Boom.
Look at that. Our
you guys right there looking at us.
Yeah, you. Thank you.
All two I got I got the Last Starfighter up and running finally. Oh my god, finally. It's getting a little easier. I got part 1 of TMNT up already.
Yeah.
I'm just sharing that all over the place.
Yeah.
So anybody that wants to sit and look at our ugly mugs for an hour and a half, we're on YouTube.
Oh yeah, just check us out. The Maximum Effort Podcast.
I'm going to just start making faces too, like.
Yeah. Or we should just stop. We should just stop talking at a certain point.
I'm going to do the whole thing cross-eyed.
And then someone blink just to see if they catch it.
That's great.
You're welcome.
Oh,
I wanted to just really quick, because we were delayed last week. Our boy JR emailed us giving me crap about being late. If you remember that. So yeah, you want to go, bro? I mean, we'll go. We'll go. I ain't got no shame. Come on down. I respect you, bro. No, I'm just kidding. Please, we like JR. He's been one of our fans since the word go, and I just wanted to give him some shit for it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's being a dick. But,
nothing but love, though.
I don't feel the need to explain my art to you, JR. So you can just go ahead and suck a big one.
Quick glue and quarters on the ground, and let's get moving.
Look, I know your name's not Warren. Okay.
Stop calling him Warren. His name's not fucking Warren.
I thought his name was Warren.
Yeah, his name's not Warren.
Mark's the best.
Yeah. Random tangent over.
Yeah, random tangent over. So
we're bad. We can't help the kids.
Thanks for playing along with us, JR, giving us hell, and we love you.
He's good people. Well, and the best part is he has no social media of any kind. He's told
he doesn't.
So when you post videos that we're going to be late, or I post a Facebook thing that says he has no idea what's going on. He's just like, are these guys done recording? What happened?
Yeah.
I'm going to have to start emailing the poor guy our schedule.
Apparently, yeah. Apparently.
Good for him, though, getting rid of Facebook. Holy shit.
I know, right, man? That. I did that once for... I mean, I'm not on it much anyway, but...
Yeah.
We did. My wife and I did it once, and it was really weird to have no Facebook, no Instagram, no plug to the outside. So it was a trip. But anyway, anywho, back to Planet Earth.
Yeah, we got some bullet points to hit on.
Yeah.
Got some love to shout out to people. We got a new patron we wanted to mention, our good buddy Jeff Tarbert.
JT.
J to the T.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've used Jeff's material quite a few times in episodes. I kind of felt like he owed us one.
Yeah. Because pretty soon he was going to get just this long laundry listed invoice for everything that we've had to use.
Basically. That's what's up.
But, yeah, no, thank you, Jeff. Thank you for helping us pour schleps out.
Yep. Jeff, I threw him some stickers for the iTunes review.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw him a couple more for the patron.
Definitely.
So, yeah, good times there.
Yeah. We are working on shirts. We're working on
Yes,
shirts.
we are.
We're working on it. Adam has been doing his research to get some prices. I'm working on it. I'm trying to get some recommendations for reasonability price-wise. So hopefully here in the next week we'll have a verdict on where we want to do it and how much it's going to cost us. Because I know some of my people, and I think some of your people, have been asking about it. I've
got a handful.
Shout out Brett Webb if you're listening. We love you, bro. We'll get you a shirt at some point. It's just we're working on pricing. It's
basically, yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, Cuba's right. Life ain't nothing but bitches and money.
Burn.
Sick burn.
It's rough.
What else we got for love?
Well, actually, I kind of wanted to throw some love at everybody else. So I found this. I'm scrolling through Facebook the other day, like 3 o'clock in the morning. Right, can't sleep, laying there. It's what I do. I sleep for like 3 hours now. It's real weird. But I'm scrolling through my Facebook, and I have this ad pop up for this thing called Podcoin, and it says something like, earn credit for the podcast you're already listening to. And I'm like, okay, I'll check this out. I figure it's one of those BS ads that pops up.
Yeah. Now, when they say credits,
yeah.
What is that? Like, can you cash those in for like the pencil eraser?
Yes.
Okay.
Or you can get the little plastic green frog. When you flick him, he hops.
Okay, gotcha.
Or Chinese finger trap.
Yeah, because you'll never get the Voltron ring.
No, never.
No.
But basically what this app is I'm going to throw a link up on all of our socials. It's called Podcoin. And a lot of the podcasts that we listen to personally are already on it. I did check into that. Brohio's on it. Murder and Such is on it.
Yes.
I think Good Old Boys was on it.
Good Old Boys on there?
I believe so.
Right on.
I listened to a couple of Magic the Gathering podcasts. The Command Zone was on there. Mm-hmm. We should be on there by the time this airs.
Yeah, if everything goes to plot.
I got the email today about 2 hours ago that said we got confirmation, or we got, that you wanted to basically claim your podcast on there.
Yeah.
So I did that. So we should be good in the next day or two. But basically what it is you get 1 point for every 10 minutes that you listen to. Mm-hmm. And then you can turn those points in for gift cards. Now, you have to listen a shit ton to accumulate enough points. But if you're already listening to a podcast anyways, use this app, accumulate the points.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they're not our sponsor or anything. We're not affiliated with them. I just saw it and I thought it was cool. Wanted to mention it to people.
Yeah, he flashed it over to me. I finally took a look at it. It's bueno.
It's pretty legit.
So, yeah, it actually seemed fairly on the level.
There's also like bonus podcast at the top that scroll across, and you get 1.5 points for every 10 minutes of listening for those. Oh, okay. And for 2 weeks, we should be on that top one as like a bonus podcast for the first 2 weeks that we're on there.
Score.
Yeah. And then I just wanted to follow up with everybody. The last episode, we talked about my dining experience at BD's Mongolian Grill in Columbus.
Yeah, how'd that work out?
Well, they actually sent me an email and said, or they sent me a Facebook message and said, reach out to us. I emailed them, and I didn't hear anything from them for like 4 days. And I'm like, okay. So they finally emailed me back, said, we apologize for your dining experience. We appreciate your feedback and your understanding of the situation. I get it. I used to work in restaurants. It gets busy. Yeah. People quit. It happens.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I didn't blast them, basically. I was just honest. The food was not good. Yeah. So they're like, we'd really like to have you back as a diner for one last experience. So we're going to throw a $25 credit on your account. So I'm like, yeah.
One last experience? Are you on death row?
I know, right?
Are you never going back again? I don't remember you saying you were never going back.
No, yeah, I never once said that. I just said the food was bad.
It's just they can't all be, the A squad. Can't all be the A team.
Sometimes the freshmen got to come out and cook.
Every once in a great while, man. You got to get the noobs out.
Yeah.
So.
One last point of order.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We've got a cross promotion. I mentioned the Good Old Boy podcast.
Yes.
Talk about that.
Yeah. So Buster Caballero, I think that's how you say it, because it looked fairly Latino. Buster got a hold of me little bit ago and was asking some questions about how we were getting ready to set up our YouTube channel and stuff like that. And he then, he listens to us. Shout out Buster, if you're listening to this one. Good on you for scoring Dale, because Dale's my hero. Hashtag Dazel. And we just started talking, and then all of a sudden he sends me like a couple pictures with 2 bins filled to the brim of He-Man toys. I mean, he had both Grayskull and the She-Ra Castle. What was the name of the She-Ra Castle?
I don't know.
I don't remember.
We were kind of arguing in the conversation because he said it was Snake Mountain, but I thought it looked more like She-Ra's castle.
No, the one that I think it was the one that you sent from the toy show. The one next to it, that was Snake Mountain.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what they were talking about.
Okay, then I got confused.
Yeah, no. We all know that the pink one is She-Ra.
Yes.
Like,
okay.
We're not. Yeah. No.
Okay.
We're good with that. And we just, Buster and I got to talking. He's just like, I just kind of threw it out there, like, what if we just did a crossover, and the 3 of us hook it up and make it happen, and we talk about something, or we're still figuring out what we're going to talk about, and we'll put you in the text. I'll put it in the group text that we've got.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But be on the lookout. Hopefully, sometime here soon, the Maximum Good Old Boy podcast episode will be dropping.
I like it.
So, and if you haven't gone and checked out the Good Old Boy podcast, go take a listen to it, man. He talks to some pretty cool people. He really, really does. And
yeah, we got to start doing that.
Yeah. So, but yeah, at some point we're gonna do our chromium covered crossover issues.
We're creating a little Arrowverse here.
We are. So
Oliver Queen's going to come over. We're going to have Star City. It's going to be a blast.
Look at you in the poll.
So if anybody out there has a podcast or knows a podcast and they kind of want to do a cross promotion,
you want to chat?
Shoot us an email, maximumeffortpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, the master has a butt.
Tried to say hit us up and shoot us at the same time, and it came out shit us.
Where you shat across the cosmos?
Yes.
Banished to this mud ball?
I don't want to talk about it.
And extra points to anybody who can figure out where those 2 lines of lyric come from.
That's right. Some stickers your way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you can name the song and the artist and the record, we might have to do a T-shirt once we figure out the pricing, because
that's what's up.
God bless you guys. So, anywho.
So last episode, we talked comics. TMNT comics.
We did.
What's left to talk about today? Cartoons and toys.
I mean, duh.
Video games.
Oh, yeah.
What else?
I mean, what else do you need in life?
Those are the 3, staples, I think.
Pretty much, yeah.
Pizza, which also ties into this week's episode.
Look at that.
Yeah. So, at one point we talked about the comic jumping from Image to IDW, and it was about that time the guy named Mark Friedman, a licensing agent, approached the dynamic duo of Eastman and Laird and proposed some figurines. Said, hey, let's make some little figurines. These guys are pretty cool.
Yeah.
So Dark Horse Miniatures actually made a set of 15 millimeter figurines.
Wow.
And for the non-metric people, that's 0.6 inches.
Yeah. So
I mean, they're small, they're not big, but I looked them up. I'll put a picture up on maybe right here on the video, and I'll post them on the socials.
Oh, look at you. Production.
Fancy, buddy.
Production.
But they're actually really cool.
Okay.
So from there, Playmates Toys approaches in 1986, and they express an interest. For anyone who's not aware, Playmates Toys is responsible for the little Playmates. There's a barn set. Everyone knows this barn set if you see it.
If you didn't have this as a kid, don't talk to us.
Yeah. Playmates did the Star Trek collection for a very long time. They are responsible for making the Simpsons toys.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and the Disney Princess line is exclusive to Playmates Toys.
I mean, we could have lived our entire lives without knowing that one, but...
Yeah, except,
Whatever, bro.
I mean, I'd be lying if I didn't say I had an Ariel doll somewhere.
Yeah,
I'm lying. I don't have one.
You don't want to know what condition it was in, folks.
Anyways, so Mirage/Image Comics figured these characters are way too dark for the demographic of 4 to 12-year-olds that Playmates is looking for.
Yeah.
They also want a cartoon to go with their toys, so kind of think when we talked about the He-Man episode, the show drives the toy sales. Mm-hmm. The toys are not there to push the show is there to push the toys.
Right.
So they had this giant board meeting. Turtles end up getting a makeover. So the ninjutsu badasses threw that right out the window. Mm-hmm. From that point forward, the Turtles are pizza-eating, joke-cracking radical dudes.
Cowabunga.
Yeah, they had to make some changes. So the Shredder, Orokusaki, he became your typical bumbling buffoon of an idiot. Very incompetent. Mm-hmm. Yeah. The foot soldiers were turned into robots, so parents wouldn't cry when one of them got cut in half.
Was this for the toy line?
The cartoon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
They added things like, turtle power and cowabunga. Yeah. Those kind of things were added. So before Playmates would actually decide to write a fat check for production, they wanted to make sure that ship would actually sail. There was a 5-part miniseries debuted in December of '87. It actually had to air 3 times before it found a big enough audience for them to consider it a hit. Mm-hmm. That's kind of about all I've got. What do you got for cartoon?
Okay. So yeah, the 5-part miniseries, which was basically, I guess, what they constituted as the pilot. It aired in syndication, which I think was like 84 stations, which is fairly big for '87. It ran from December 14th through December 18th, which I'm assuming, and it doesn't say that anywhere, but I'm assuming that was just kind of like try to stir up interest in case next Christmas comes around,
Sounds about right.
Something to that effect. But it ran for 10 seasons from '87 to 1996. Season 2 aired almost a year later. It didn't come until October 1st. And it ran, I believe it was like 14-ish episodes. You'd have to double check me on that one because I've still been all over the place.
Right.
And it was done by a company called Murakami Wolf Swenson, aka Fred Wolf Films. And they've been responsible for the last 2 seasons of the OG Alvin and the Chipmunks cartoon. They did a couple of Puff the Magic Dragon specials.
Right on.
Not that kind of Puff, dude.
Oh my bad.
No, not that kind of Puff. Although, it's probably more of a mushroom thing to get that.
Probably.
Yeah, more likely. They did kind of a Speed Racer reboot called The New Adventures of Speed Racer.
Okay.
And they were actually responsible for the first primetime animated special on television. It was a thing called The Point, and it aired on ABC in 1971. And that was an adaptation of a Harry Nilsson album, his 6th album, which, I mean, none of these kids are going to go check out who he is. But
no.
He was cool enough that the Beatles were a fan of him. And his songs and the way that he wrote songs and performed them. So if you're getting fanboydom from the Beatles, you're somebody. You're somebody.
Yeah, that's impressive.
So, yeah. But like Adam said, the cartoon itself deviated from the source material in the comic. Really one of the big ones was that Hamato Yoshi in the comic book is just a sensei of the Foot. He was the original leader before Shredder unceremoniously ousted him. In the cartoon, Hamato Yoshi and Splinter are the same person. in the comic book, Splinter was Hamato Yoshi's pet rat.
Yep.
And in a lot of the incarnations, like in the movie, which we might touch on later, they explain it that way, that he was a pet. But for purposes of the cartoon, Hamato Yoshi was basically kicked out of Japan. He ended up in New York, was living in the sewers, and made friends with the rats. And he, because of the interaction with the rats, and then when the ooze comes down and the turtles come down, he turns into what is Splinter. And that was kind of the big thing. And like you said, aside from like, pizza and wacky hijinks that ensued, there was a thread line through most of the seasons where they would always do 1 or 2 episodes involving Dimension X.
Yep.
And the only seasons that didn't have that were seasons 5, 6, 8, and 9. The rest of them tackled the Dimension X timeline, where they'd always have an episode about the teenagers from Dimension X or the history of Dimension X or whatever, where they introduced the character Krang, who came from Dimension X. He was the ruler. He got ousted, if I remember right. Was it Lord Dreg?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Lord Dreg overthrew him. And as punishment, he was stripped of his body and only left as a brain with tentacles, and he was exiled to Earth. And so he's one of the antagonists, along with Shredder, who had his cohorts Bebop and Rocksteady, a rhino and a warthog. And, of course, the Foot Clan with, the Stoogie soldiers as opposed to actual people. And, there really wasn't a lot to do it. Now, there were a couple of episodes where they did kind of like PSAs at the end, like don't do like kind of the, knowledge is power thing in G.I. Joe. They did a couple of those. At one point from 1990 to 1993, the cartoon was actually on Saturday morning cartoons on all of the CBS affiliates. So for 3 years, it was like prime cartoon stuff.
Right. I'm trying to find something here because I forgot to write it down. But there was a promo that came out. Something about the TMNT All-Stars.
Let me hang on here. Let me take a peek.
You were talking about the PSAs. It's basically a PSA.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I found it's called Cartoon All-Stars to the Rescue.
Okay. All right.
And it was a very cheesy kind of anti-drug campaign.
Right.
It was financed by McDonald's.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but basically everyone that was a character at the time was in this at one point or another. And it's basically this kid does a bunch of acid, smokes some pot, and ends up falling down the rabbit hole. Yeah. And he meets Slimer, he meets Alf, he meets the Chipmunks, he meets Looney Tunes, he meets the Smurfs, Michelangelo, Garfield. There are just so many characters in it. But it was weird that, Mikey was the only one that showed up in this.
Well, what else is he going to do?
Yeah, basically. But I just wanted to throw that in there.
Quick. If you really think about it, if you watch that cartoon, Mikey's the stoned one.
Basically.
Nobody eats that much pizza that fast.
No.
And talks like that. Like SoCal, just, yeah, brah.
Right on, brah.
Yeah, cowabunga, dude. He's like, yeah. He was high.
Yeah.
Let's just call a spade a spade. He was high.
Yep.
But, it ran for 193 episodes. Obviously it had some clout, and a following, which I think,
I'd say a little bit.
which I think grew once, the cartoon came out and then the toys happened. it just built from there.
Yeah.
And then when you got into 93-ish, probably even before that, like 192, when VCR started coming out and rental places started, they started putting like a lot of the choice episodes on VHS.
Right.
And you could go rent it. Like that was the first VHS I ever rented. In South Florida was one of those like compilations from, I guess, I don't know, season 6 or something like that. I don't remember.
Well, that was the bad part about those, is they weren't in chronological order.
No, they weren't. They were just kind of like the best bits.
Yeah.
Like the really, I guess, quote unquote popular ones, or the ones that hit the most.
Well, and the weird part too is, like you said, the one VHS was from season 6.
Yeah.
Like the first episode in that would be like episode 6 from that season, and then the next one was episode 1, and then the next one was episode 9, and then episode 4.
Yeah,
so and then itself,
and even it kind of like, it was like might have been one from season 4 or something.
Yeah,
it was really like they just threw darts, basically, and said, okay, now we're gonna put this one out. But
yeah.
So yeah, it stopped. It stopped in 1996, and which I thought I wrote down the name of the last episode. Yeah, season 10, episode 8, the episode called "Divide and Conquer."
Really, 8 episodes that season? That's all they gave us?
Yeah, that was it.
That's rough.
That was it. The longest one was season 4. Season 4 had literally 41 episodes.
Wow.
Yeah. So it ran basic, and they did it all in 3 months.
Yeah.
Well, no way, it was 4 months. 4 months, but then they had some that ended up coming out in 91. There were like 2 episodes in that season where they came out in March of 91, but the rest of them aired in 1990.
Nice.
It's really weird how they're laid out. And then there was one season that was from Europe. It was like a European version. I think it was season 7.
Is that the Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles?
Yeah, Teenage Mutant Hero Karate Guys.
Yeah, there you go.
Karate experiments.
No ninjas in Europe there.
No, but anyway, the voice artist, the voice character, the people who did the voices for the characters. I mean, I was looking at them, and some of their resumes are pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, the voice guys get around.
Yeah, the Michelangelo was voiced by a guy named Townsend Coleman. He was in an Inspector Gadget episode. He did a voice in Fraggle Rock. He was in Gem and the Holograms, Tailspin, and he was the voice of the Tick.
Yes, he was.
Yeah, buddy. So, Leonardo was voiced by a guy named Cameron Clark, and he also did Rocksteady's voice. He did I think an episode or 2 to Justice League. He did Eek the Cat. Do you remember Eek the Cat?
Yeah, I remember Eek.
Yeah. He was in that. He was in Tailspin. A lot of these guys did Disney cartoons too. And now you owe everybody a beer.
Yeah, sorry.
Get your phone. It's like, get your life right, man.
Actually, that was a notification that popped up to remind my wife about something before she left for work.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It showed up on your watch, buddy.
I fail at life.
You do.
Yeah.
Donatello was voiced by a guy named Barry Gordon. He also did Bebop. He was in SWAT Cats. He was in... Did you ever watch a cartoon called Jabberjaw?
Yeah, I've seen Jabberjaw.
The shark. Yeah, he was...
Yeah,
he was in one of those episodes. He was in...
That was like from the 70s, wasn't it?
It was like early 80s.
Was it?
I think. I don't know. I remember that's when I would see it. And that one was on Sunday morning. Do you remember Pole Position?
Never the cartoon. I've seen it, but not a follower.
Yeah, I watched that a lot as a kid. He was in that. He was in Batman the Animated Series. I think he was one of the.
Oh, right on.
I think he was one of the Penguin's henchmen. Raphael was. You're gonna love this. Do you know who voiced Raphael?
I feel like I should.
Oh, you're gonna crap. This is his name. His name is Robert Paulson.
Shut the front door.
His name is Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson.
His name is Robert Paulson.
That's fucking great.
Yes. Yeah, I saw that and I'm like, oh, dude. And Robert Paulson, for those of you, he was Pinky in Pinky and the Brain. Yeah. And he was in an episode of Sonic. Splinter, everybody's favorite rat, was a guy named Peter Renaday. I think I'm doing that right. He was also in Batman the Animated Series. He was in Gargoyles. He was in the real Ghostbusters.
Gargoyles.
Yeah.
I actually posted a thing today, real quick tangent, on our Facebook page.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if it's Key or Peel. I think it's Peel. Wants to do a live action Gargoyles movie.
Really?
Yeah, he wants to helmet and everything, man.
Wow, that would be pretty cool.
I'm excited.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. April O'Neil was voiced by somebody named Renee Jacobs, and that's like the only thing she did.
Ouch.
I know. Like, I couldn't find much else on her. Krang was a guy named Pat Fraley. He was in Tiny Toons. He was in Snorks. He was in an episode of King of the Hill, I think. Huh. But you're gonna love this next one. These next two. Shredder.
Oh yeah.
You know who Shredder's voice is, right?
Oh yeah, I know Shredder's voice.
Uncle Phil.
Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince. Yep.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I don't even feel like he did anything. I just feel like he walked in and says his lines.
I mean,
because he sounds just like Uncle Phil.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, he didn't really change it too much. It was just...
No, he played it well. It was good.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he sold it.
He had that real deep, kind of like commanding voice.
Mm-hmm. Which he kind of wanted.
Right.
But...
Didn't sound Japanese any way, shape, or form like Oroku Saki should have, but...
No, but, I mean...
It's all right.
Dude. We'll let it slide.
Yeah, I'll give him a pass.
Oh, yeah. He was Uncle Phil.
Yeah.
I mean, if you had a daughter like Whitney, you'd probably phone it in, too.
Amen.
And then the last one I've got. The last two seasons of the original run in season 10. The last two, or 9 and 10. They brought Lord Dreg into the cartoon.
Yeah.
And he basically replaced Shredder as the main bad guy.
Actually, I think it was General Trag.
It was listed as Lord Dreg.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, then this must be a different character.
It might have been. But he was voiced by a guy named Tony J. Do you know who else he did?
No idea.
He was Megabyte in Reboot.
Yes.
Yes.
That is what's up.
Yeah. He was Megabyte.
That's solid.
Right? So, yeah, that was kind of all I had. Because, the cartoon itself, if you go watch it.
Yeah.
Like, at the end of the day, go watch it. Because it'll make more sense.
Totally worth it.
Oh, absolutely worth it.
Good cartoon.
Hey, it sold me, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, that was like my favorite show for at least 2 years, 3 years.
Well, we were talking last episode when we talked about the comics and stuff, we did mention the show at the end, and the opening credits. Oh my god!
Oh, dude, that was
awesome.
That was where your money went.
Yeah,
because that was it. It wasn't quite anime, but it was. It had that feel. It had a lot of movement. It had a lot of action to it. You know, and it did kind of try to pay homage to the dark parts
of the
Turtles, because there were a lot of like night shots in the beginning, and it looked almost like what you would have wanted the comic book to look like if it was a cartoon.
Yeah, and that scene where Splinter's falling down like the wooden tunnel.
Yeah,
and he does like the ninja moves and just destroys all the wood, or where Mikey's standing in the sewer with his nunchuck under his arm, and he just starts going to town with that thing.
Yeah, oh yeah,
very very anime style drawings.
I forgot one of the other differences between the comic and the cartoon was that in the cartoon, the actual Ninja Turtles were they just kind of automatically evolved to full grown 4 or 5 foot people. There was no nurturing from Splinter. They didn't grow up over years or whatever. They just were, boom, adolescent,
teenage.
Yeah, they just went from 0 to hormone.
Yeah,
like that. So, but yeah, just you miss the good times, you know.
They did. They really did.
It really was, man. And I already had a thing for nunchucks anyway, so the fact that one of them, that Michelangelo had nunchucks, like, come on, dude.
For real.
Come on. So, but that's about all I had. Like I said, cool. I wasn't going to try and weed through 193 episodes.
No. Yeah.
To
hit it and quit it.
Pretty much, yeah. So
yeah. So toys, like we said, the show was there to promote the toys, obviously. So the toy line started in 1988. And as I'm going through this list, I did find a list on another webpage. There's a top 25 list of the most valuable TMNT toys and memorabilia.
Uh-huh.
I didn't mention all of them, but as I go through this list, I will hit on some of those.
Okay.
So every wave of toys, we got accessories and figures.
Mm-hmm.
And as the show went on, we got more and more each time.
Yeah.
So in 1988, the line, we only got 4 accessories.
Mm-hmm.
There was a toy called the Cheapskate. It was a little skateboard, and it had a little fan on the back. Kind of think like a fan boat.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's kind of a precursor to a motorized skateboard.
Basically, yeah. There was an accessory called the Knucklehead, which was honestly kind of like a claw game for your turtle toys.
Kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
The Turtle Trooper, which was one of the turtles, and it basically had a parachute on its back, one of those throw it up in the air, and it would slowly come down.
Yeah, yeah. If you ever seen the soldiers in Toy Story?
Exactly.
At the beginning. There you go.
Yep, exactly. But the cool one that came out was the Turtle Blimp.
Oh, I forgot about the blimp.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
The blimp. Yeah, the blimp was huge. I mean, this thing was football sized, if not bigger.
Yes.
And they had it in the show. They used the turtle blimp quite a bit. The toy could only carry 1 turtle at a time, but it had little orange plastic bombs on the bottom that it would drop down as you played with it. The turtle blimp is actually number 23 on the list of the top 25.
That's not surprising.
Mint in the box goes for about $380.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it's lower than I thought it would go.
Yeah, they go up from here.
I'm sure.
Yeah. So the figures that we got that year were, of course, Leo, Mikey, Donnie, and Raph.
Yep.
We got an April O'Neil.
Which, and I don't know, to me, the way I remember them, they were more closely designed like the OG comic book. They were shorter than the cartoon. Their eyes were whited out. The face build was kind of more along the lines of the comic.
Yeah.
And it looked more, they had stubbier limbs.
Right.
And they were a little wider, like that, that drawing that you put up on the Instagram. Eastman's first kind of sketch. They were more squatty and turtly than the cartoon.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got an April O'Neil, and they actually put out 3 versions of April. Neither one was any worth any more or less than the other. But there was one that she had a blue stripe on her pant leg. Mm-hmm. There was one that had no stripe.
Right.
And there was one that came with a press kit. She had a camera, a microphone, a little briefcase.
Yeah, I remember that.
Bebop and Rocksteady.
Mm-hmm.
Had them. These guys, did you?
Yeah, I did.
There were 2 versions of these guys. There was one with a hard head and one with a very soft head. Like you could almost squeeze their head and it would squeeze in. And then the other one, you could literally bang it on the counter and knock someone out.
Yeah.
There was a basic foot soldier, the purple foot soldier with the gray
with
pads.
like the insect wing arm guards.
Yeah, so weird looking.
So weird looking.
The foot soldiers came with like a menagerie of weapons. They had like everything.
Pretty much.
Shredder came with a sword, a couple of ninja stars, and a slice of pizza. And I'll put a picture up. The figures legit came with it. I'm pretty sure it was supposed to be a dagger of some kind, but on the end it had a little handle they could hold.
Yeah.
But it legit looks like a slice of pizza.
Oh yeah. No, I was gonna say I don't remember seeing a slice. I remember seeing that like spearhead thing.
Yeah.
But,
yeah.
Because
a shredder in the packaging in really good condition is number 15 on the list. Goes for about $575.
Why didn't I leave it in there?
Heard that.
I had one. I had it.
I did too.
I had I also had the hard Bebop and Rocksteady.
Did you?
Yeah.
Nice.
I had a lot of them.
Splinter came the same way, soft and hard head.
Had the hard one of him too.
He came with a bow staff and a bow and arrow. That was his weapon of choice.
He had the bow and arrow. Yeah.
Yep. The hard-headed Splinter is number 19 on the list at $500.
Man.
Yeah. And that was just that wave of toys. There's $800 worth of 3 toys if you kept them.
And if I hadn't opened them and been like, in whatever grade I was in.
Right.
Pre-adolescent.
Ignorance.
God dang it.
I feel you, buddy. So, yeah, pull the trigger. So 1989, we got a new wave of accessories and figures. Now, this list literally almost triples in the accessories. So I'm going to kind of bounce through these real quick, but there's a couple I want to hit on.
Okay.
There was one called the double-barreled plunger. It was basically like an artillery unit, but it would shoot like garbage. They never shot bullets or anything. It shot like garbage. Yeah. The Flush-O-Matic, which was actually a little thing you would tie the turtles down to and pour mutagen in the top, and it would actually slime down on top of them.
Oh, wow.
The Foot Cruiser, which was a maniacal-looking car for the Foot and the Shredder.
Yeah.
The Foot Ski, which was a basic jet ski toy for the Foot Soldiers. The Pizza Thrower, which I actually had this. It shot out little pizza plastic discs.
Yeah.
Kind of like those Nerf foam discs.
Mm-hmm.
This thing is number 17 on the list at $529.
Wow.
Yeah. The Retro Catapult, literally exactly what it sounds like.
Uh-huh.
There was the Sewer Army Tube and the Sewer Party Tube.
I don't remember those.
Yeah. You could actually buy a bucket of ooze, and that went with the Flush-O-Matic.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in my opinion, the 3 big ones, honestly. There was the Sewer playset.
Uh-huh.
Oh, this thing was awesome.
Oh, I wanted one so bad. Never got one. You dick.
Turtles, like I had turtles.
Dude, I had the figures. Yeah. I never got any of the accessory things. Like
we could have had fun playing together.
Oh, we would have.
With our turtle toys, but we'd have to leave our socks on.
Well, yeah, because we're not going to wear our clothes while we play with them.
Right, that'd be weird.
Yeah.
But yeah, this thing, it had 2 rooms that were like kind of simulated being below ground. One was a dojo / kitchen, and then the one next to it had a bed in it.
Yeah.
There was a couple of green sewer pipes that kind of led up like you were underground. And above the dojo was a street set. There was a fire extinguisher, a couple of electric lines, and a dumpster. You ready for this? The sewer playset in the box, original box, in pretty good condition, is number 3 on the list at $1,500. Yeah.
Dude, between the 2 of us, we're already up $5,000 had we hung on to this stuff. Golly.
So the next one on the list is the Turtle Party Wagon.
Yeah.
This was kind of like the ultimate fun accessory to play with.
Yeah, because that was the van, wasn't it?
Yep.
It looked very VW van.
Right.
And did it shoot pizzas too? I thought it did.
I don't think it did. I didn't see in any of the pictures where it would.
Okay, I'm
the top opened.
I'm meshing toys then.
I think so. It happens. We're old.
We are.
But the top would open because in the cartoon it was spring loaded and it would launch the turtles up in the air. The toy did not do that, but the top still opened.
Yeah.
But the door kind of swung out and you could strap a turtle down in it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I remember that.
And then the turtle cycle, which was a little motorcycle and it had a sidecar.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Little reverse trash can sidecar.
Mm-hmm.
And then the figures that we got in 1989. So some of these are tied into the... some of these you'll remember, and some of these are kind of like, who is that? We got Baxter Stockman, which he was the scientist.
Yeah.
Who kind of Jeff Goldblum-esque got turned into a fly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Casey Jones, the Turtles' buddy.
the Punisher.
Yeah.
Just call it what it is.
Yeah, basically. There was one called Ace Duck, which was a duck.
Yeah.
Kind of looked like Angel from X-Men.
Yeah.
General Trag, which was one of the generals from Dimension X.
Yep.
Genghis Frog.
Yep.
He was number 20 on the list.
Okay.
The brown belt variant, because there's two belts, a white and a brown. The brown belt variant goes for about $500.
Uh-huh.
We got Krang in the little like robot suit,
yeah.
like the gray legs.
Yeah, it was like a gray chair looking platform with a plastic dome that his tentacles stuck out of, and he had these like, what was the robot in RoboCop?
Ed 209.
The ED 209. Yeah, it had legs that were kind of like that.
Yep.
And I had that. I didn't get the body for him, but I had the...
I never had the body.
I had the OG.
We got Leatherhead, which was a very New Orleans kind of alligator from Florida. He had the New Orleans accent, but he was actually from Florida.
Go figure.
Yeah. Metalhead, which was a robot turtle that Don made.
I had him.
Yep. The Rat King, which he was just a homeless guy that lived in the sewers, but for some reason or another he could control rats. And there was actually an episode or two in the story where he could control Splinter.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And then Usagi Yojimbo.
I had him too.
Yeah, Usagi was great.
Yeah.
He actually ended up having his own comic book. He was such a popular character.
He was my favorite.
Yeah, little white samurai rabbit.
And he was in the cartoon, and he was very hyperactive and hyper violent. Like, he wanted to fight.
Yeah.
He was
everybody all the time.
He was ready. And he was more samurai than ninja, because he had the armor. He had the body plates and the armor on, and he had his hair, his ears tied up.
He looked very feudal Japan-esque.
Very feudal Japan. Oh yeah. Yeah, he was high up with the ladies, for sure.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
For sure. Yeah.
So in 1990, we got more accessories and more figures. So the figures that we got were Fugitoid, which was a robot from the future. Mondo Gecko was like a gecko-ish looking guy.
And now he's doing commercials for insurance.
Yeah, exactly. Fun fact here too: in the new Ninja Turtles cartoon, not the new one that's on Nickelodeon now, but the one right before it, Napoleon Dynamite was Mondo Gecko.
Nice.
No, sorry. Napoleon Bonafrog is another one of the characters, and they had the
John Heater.
John Heater, yeah, did the voice for Napoleon Bonafrog as Napoleon Dynamite, and it was great.
Oh God! Now I've got to look that. I got to look that up.
It's worth a look.
I got to now.
We got Muckman and Joe Eyeball. I don't know those, honestly.
I don't know.
Mutagen Man, which was kind of cool. It was like a hard plastic see-through body that had slime in it.
Yeah. I remember seeing that in KB.
Panda Khan.
Yeah.
Pizza Face. Pizza the Hut.
Or else pizza's gonna order out for you.
Then you got to do that.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You got to do the headroom glitch.
Yeah. There was a Ray Fillet, which was a manta ray, big beefy like muscle kind of guy.
Yeah, I had that Garbage Pail Kid card too.
Exactly. Scumbag.
Yeah.
A Triceraton Warrior.
Yeah.
Wingnut and Screw Loose, which was a bat, and I don't remember what Screw Loose was.
Hang on.
And then Slash, which in the cartoon, Slash was Bebop's pet snapping turtle who ended up getting mutated.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember that.
And the accessories that came out in 90, none of these were really... There is one big one in here, though. The Turtle Copter, the Bubble Sword, which was actually Leo's sword that would, when you swung it, it would have bubbles come out of it. The Toilet Taxi. Yeah. The Sludge-mobile.
Okay.
The Sewer Seltzer Cannon. The Sewer Dragster. The Psycho Cycle. And the Mutant Module. But the big one, the cool one that came out that year was the Technodrome.
Yes.
And I mean, this thing was huge.
Yes. The Technodrome was where Krang did all of his evil doings.
Yeah, it was a giant mobile underground fortress.
And he'd come out of the body once in a while and give Shredder what for.
Now, here's what I thought was weird. The Technodrome was not even on the list of top 25 most expensive or valuable.
That's surprising.
Yeah, apparently it's so easy to find one, it's not worth that much.
Huh.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of dumb.
Yeah. But in 1991, the accessories that came out that year, and then this is where they just completely go insane, and they do that thing that toys used to do where they make anything and everything.
Tell me you're going to say Captain Bananas.
Close. He is a little down the list.
He's a what?
He's a little down the list.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
As long as he's down.
So we got the Cheapskate 2.
Uh-huh.
Don's Crazy Carnival Car.
Uh-huh.
Don's Telephone Line Rider Backpack. This is when Krang's android body actually came out. The full-size 6.5 foot tall.
Yeah.
Not the toy, but yeah.
Yeah.
This thing, mint in the box, number 4. $1,500.
Jeez.
Leo's
Lord.
Jolly Turtle Tub Boat, which is actually number 25 on the list, worth about $200. We had Mikey's Cowabunga Beach Buggy. Mikey's Pizza Chopper Backpack.
Yeah. Screw Loose.
Yes.
Mosquito.
Thank you. I knew it was some kind of a bug or something, but I couldn't recall.
They were both bloodsuckers because Wingnut's a vampire bat. Screw Loose is a mosquito. They drink blood. They save the world.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Raft's Sewer Speedboat, which I had one of those.
I remember that. Yeah.
The front of it had Raft's face on it, like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Rocksteady's Pogo Copter, which was a little backpack. The Shell Top 4x4, which was a big SUV. The Shredder Mobile, which was very, very reminiscent of the Munsters vehicle.
Oh, the hot rod?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Almost a knockoff of it, exactly.
Could have been.
Yeah. They had the Blimp 2, another version of the Blimp toy. And from pictures, it didn't look much of anything different than the first one.
Really?
Yeah, like I couldn't tell anything that was really different.
Okay.
The Communicator came out, and Donnie actually made one of these for April in the cartoon. It was a little turtle shell.
Oh, yeah.
It had the little gray things that would come out the sides, and it had a picture of a turtle on it.
Yeah.
I had one. I had it.
I thought it was just a turtle shell.
Yeah, it was a shell, but it would flip open to be like a cell phone, basically.
Yeah. It was like the burger phone.
Yeah. In 1991, that's when the movie toys also came out at the end of the year.
Yeah, because
the movie came out in March of 1990.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought we would save that for a movie episode down the road.
Yeah, we're gonna do which I know we already owe you a Patreon movie episode for the Last Starfighter.
It's gonna happen, kids. Be patient.
It is. Woosa. We need a couple more people to show some interest.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get there.
We're getting there. Baby steps.
But in 1991, they figures related to the cartoon that came out.
Wait. Did you just do a Nicholson Batman thing?
Yeah.
That's my boy. That's
what's up, buddy.
Yes. It took a minute.
No, you're good. I got you.
It took a minute to register.
Well played. If you're watching on YouTube, you're going to get it.
You'll figure it out.
Go check out the YouTube Maximum Effort podcast.
There you go.
So the 1991 figures, we got Chrome Dome, Dirtbag, and Ground Chuck.
Again, garbage pail kid card.
Yeah, exactly. We did get 3 movie toys.
Mm-hmm.
Toka and Razor, and the Super Shredder.
Yeah. Well, that was from 2, though.
The Kevin Nash.
Yeah, but that was from the sequel.
Yeah, which is weird because the toy line came out in 91.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The sequel came out in what, 92?
I think so. So maybe the movie toys came out before the movie.
Like right in the midst of Vanilla Ice getting bitched out for stealing Queen.
Exactly.
Don't watch the end, kids. Whatever you do, don't watch the end of the second one.
Nope. We had your buddy Sergeant Bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah. A space version of Usagi Yojimbo came out.
That's right.
Had the space helmet on.
Yeah.
And the ears popped out the top of the helmet.
Yeah.
Where's the vacuum of space in that?
Those would have frozen off or burnt down to a crisp.
There was one called Tattoo, which was he almost looked like E. Honda from Street Fighter.
Yeah, he did.
Had a big tattoo on his gut.
Uh-huh.
There were 2 versions of this toy. One had the tattoo on the gut, one did not.
I'm sure the one with the tattoo is worth more.
Yeah, probably. It didn't show up on the list, though, unfortunately.
Wow, that's really surprising.
There were 2 guys called Walkabout and Worm, and Zach the Neutrino.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then from there, it just gets kind of redundant. They start releasing, re-releasing the Turtles, releasing April, re-releasing Splinter. So
yeah, they
were in 1992. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I say in 1992 there were 5 new accessories and 28 figures total. 14 of those figures were remolds, including 3 new remolds of April. And 14 new figures for 28 total figures just in 92. And then between 93 and 99, again, it was a lot of rehashing.
Yeah.
There were a total of 47 figures that came out over that 6-year span.
Yeah.
33 remolds and 14 new characters again.
Yeah, because at that point they started doing like samurai versions of the Turtles and wasn't there another version of? I could be just remembering this wrong. Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Exactly.
But they did release samurai versions of the Turtles.
Yes. Yeah. That was part of the rehash.
Yeah.
So for anybody keeping track at home, that's a grand total of 119 action figures and 43 accessories.
Lucas would be proud. Yeah. Time out. Well, he's gone. I think it goes without saying we thank you guys for watching this. All 2 of you. And tell your friends to go watch this. Because, I think we're getting to the point in this where we're liking entertaining people. I mean, it's fun for us to sit down and bullshit for a couple hours and, talk about stuff that we thought was cool. But I think we're trying to somehow magically get laughs from you guys too. So, yeah, while he's piddling around, Uncle Dave's got you. And I just wanted to thank all y'all for listening to us and putting up with our shenanigans and our wacky schedules and our, real life BS. And hey, if there's something you want us to talk about, email us. Email us, themaximumeffortpodcast@gmail.com. Because, I guarantee you between the two of us, we don't remember everything. We're getting old now. We're starting to yell at kids to get off our lawn. Might run them over with a lawnmower one day if I feel like it. You never know. So, email us. Let us know what you remember, don't remember. Because, we've got a list, but we're always taking suggestions, except from you, JR. No, even from you. What else? What else can I BS about till he gets back? I may put the Jeopardy music in here. Or I might have him do it. He's the video guy. I'll let him do it. Yeah. Oh, wait. Is he coming? I don't know. And that Captain Marvel bucket in the background's pretty sweet, though. I think at a certain point we're going to tackle comic book issues, like actual issues of comic books or, specific storylines, because, I remember there were a few really good ones, especially around 91, 92, with like Spider-Man and the X-Men, and I was never really a DC guy, but oh shit, he's back. All right, act like everything's cool.
All right, I'm back.
And he's back.
Do you need another clap to pick up the audio again?
No, we're good. Just send me the whole file and I'll figure it out.
All right, man.
Because when I send you the raw audio, I kids and I had a chat.
Yeah?
Yeah. Told them what a complete tool you were.
It's understandable.
Yeah. Yeah. We decided you need to ZZ top this thing. It's getting a little...
Yeah, it definitely needs cleaned up.
It's getting a little frayed ends of sanity there.
Yeah. There we go. That's better. Now I look like a freaking complete hobo.
Now you look like Gwildor.
Basically, yeah. All right. So
where were we?
We talked cartoons, so now we're going to hit some video games at you.
Yes.
So the very first Turtle game was a self-titled cartridge just called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yep.
Came out in 1989 for the Nintendo Entertainment System, the Amigo. Yeah.
Wow.
There was a DOS version.
Really?
Yep, you could play it on DOS.
Huh.
As well as Atari and Commodore 64. There were PC ports about a year after the game launched, so people could play it on PC.
Right.
But it's a very side-scrolling game.
Yeah.
Includes up and down, left and right.
Oh, yeah. It is, very, very reminiscent of Ninja Gaiden.
Well, yeah, and it was actually done by Konami.
Yeah.
So, same thing there.
Yeah.
Here's a weird thing, and I didn't know anything about this until my research. The box art for the game was taken from the second print of issue 4 of the comic book.
Really?
So now if you remember from the comic book, when the Turtles went to Image and were finally given color, they all wore red bandanas.
Okay.
So on the box art for the game, they're all wearing red bandanas.
Okay.
But of course in the game, they have their, orange,
colors,
blue, red. And, so it's like, is that it was almost like an Easter egg without meaning to be. But a lot of people thought it was a misprint. They were like, what the hell's going on here? The game was released after the show's second season, and the plot of the game has our heroes on a mission to retrieve a device called the Life Transformer Gun from the Shredder.
Uh-huh.
This gun has the ability to turn Splinter back into his human form, which the Turtles always felt they kind of owed him for everything he'd done for them.
Yeah.
So the game opens with the logo, and it says press start. There's an 8-bit turtle mutates into Leonardo, does a couple of impressive attack moves, and then they show Raph, Mikey, and Donatello.
Uh-huh. Now, you said it was Konami?
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm looking at the artwork for the box right now,
Mm-hmm.
and it says Ultra Games?
Ultra Games was like the...
Are they an offshoot?
Kind of, yeah, from what I could tell.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. But there's some real cool artwork, the game. The opening is all just cartoon pictures, no animation even. It shows Splinter and the Turtles in the bottom left-hand corner. He points up in the air, and then a spotlight moves across the corner, and you see April being held hostage by Shredder.
Mm-hmm.
So then you're on the world map, and you walk straight into a sewer, which is the only place you can go. First thing you end up doing is you start fighting mousers in the sewer.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that.
It's a pretty easy level to start out. You kind of repeat this process. At the end of the second sewer, you fight Bebop, while Rocksteady has April held captive on a platform up above.
Mm-hmm.
Now, interesting fact is you can actually pause the game at any time and switch between any of the turtles.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. I forgot about that.
There was actually a playthrough I watched on YouTube where the guy plays the whole game as Leonardo and beats it in like 28 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the next mission is in a building where you fight Rocksteady at the end and you finally free April.
Mm-hmm.
Then after that, you have to save the dam, which is the part of the story.
Yeah.
So the villains that show up at the end of the next level is a very Texas Chainsaw Massacre-esque wannabe mini-boss. I mean, dude legit looks like he's going to hack you to pieces and eat your face.
Yep.
So finally, about this point, you pick up some ninja stars that you can use as an alternative weapon, and you get 20 ninja stars to throw. So once you beat that level, you get the hardest part of any video game in the history of video games ever.
Yeah.
You dive off the dam into the water, and you got 2 minutes and 20 seconds to swim around and defuse 8 bombs.
Mm-hmm.
There's coral all over the place, and if you touch the coral, you take damage.
Yeah.
And if you take enough damage, you're drowned.
Yep.
The traps in it are very similar to Super Mario. There's like spinning electrical devices and electrical beams that run up and down.
Yeah.
I have beat this level twice in my entire life. Once required the Game Genie. So that didn't even count.
No, you can't count that one.
No. The second one, I legit did it on my own.
Uh-huh.
After you beat this level, you actually get to drive around in the turtle van.
Mm-hmm.
I got to do that for 10 whole seconds and died. So pissed.
Oh, yeah.
But I've seen a speed run beat it with 34 seconds left, so it can be done very easily.
It is doable. You either have to be 7 or a ferret hopped up on a 3-day Coke binge.
Exactly.
Because I didn't even make it that far. I did not make it that far.
Yeah, I beat it one time.
You're better than I am. I don't think I ever was able to defuse all the bombs.
No, that's
because I was not
part,
cool enough to have a Game Genie, and they didn't have Google, so you couldn't look up the cheat codes.
Nope.
So yeah, I failed.
It's all right. It happens. Hard.
I'm just glad it wasn't one of those things where you had to like come up for air every so often.
No shit, right?
Oh my lord, that would have been. Hi, Grimlock.
Yeah, he's trotting around.
He's clacking around.
Yeah. But after you beat the dam level, you end up in the turtle's lair, and you find out the Shredder has kidnapped Splinter.
Mm-hmm.
So then there's another warehouse level, and then you actually finally get to drive the turtle van around. You can actually run over the Foot Clan. and there are tanks running around that you have to shoot with the rockets. So after a little bit of this running around New York, you finally arrive at Splinter, who's hung from a steel pipe, and you fight a turtle clone. I'm not really sure what that's all about, but it's legit
like a full-on clone, or like a Bizarro turtle, or like what?
Kind of like a Bizarro turtle.
Okay. All right.
And they don't really explain it. I don't get it, but that's what happens.
Well, I mean, the cover art looks like they're fighting in front of a UFO anyway, so...
Yeah, pretty much.
It's not like it's out of the realm of possibility.
Right. So yeah, there's more battles, more baddies. At this point, you fight these guys, and it's funny that you mentioned Krang's outfit looks like Ed 209, because I actually mentioned that in this part of my notes, that these guys you fight look like Ed 209 robots.
Yeah.
Eventually, you end up in a warehouse, and there's a giant, 40-foot mouser in the room. Yeah. And it's looking right at the camera of the game.
Oh, wow.
It doesn't do anything. It doesn't move around, but it spawns mousers out of its mouth, and you have to fight those off. Now, after that, you get a cutscene of flying the turtle blimp.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fancy.
So then after that, you end up underground, and the Technodrome finally shows up. Yeah. So... after you finish this battle, because you're not at the Technodrome yet, you're just underground. So after you finish this battle, you're only 8 or 9 more random warehouse battles away from the final fight with Shredder.
You're so close.
Exactly.
Until the next one.
So there's a cutscene at the end of the game when you finally defeat Shredder. There's a cutscene at the end that Splinter says, "You defeated Shredder and saved the world. Now I can turn back to human form." And there's legit a little picture that flashes, and Splinter turns into a creepy old man. I don't know if they took the picture of the guy from Kevin Eastman's uncle or what. But he says...
maybe his ball sack.
Maybe. Splinter legit says, "Thanks. You guys have excelled my skills." So apparently an old man is a better fighter than a rat? I don't know.
Apparently he's not familiar with English.
Yeah, it's real weird. So then April pops up and says, "Oh, Splinter is back to his real form. You guys are great. Thanks for your help. Let's celebrate with pizza." Yeah.
Yeah, let us go and fly a kite.
Yes. The screen cuts to black, and there's literally some 8-bit words that pop up that says, "The adventures of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle is concluded."
Yeah. Yeah, see,
that's the game.
See what we had to deal with, kids? We didn't have just characters talking. There was no exposition. It was either all typed out or... you just played the game, figured it out for yourself.
But yeah, I mean, this game was nuts.
Oh, I loved it. Loved it. I would always ride my bike down to Blockbuster and rent this thing.
And I'm pretty sure Tarbird has a copy of it. Yeah.
Dude, don't tease.
Pretty sure he does. If I ever come down to visit, I'll bring it with me.
Yeah.
That'll happen.
Was it?
But it was a...
were you being fascist?
No.
Because we've only been trying to get you to come down here since
2005.
Something to that effect. Yeah.
Yeah. So. It'll happen eventually. But yeah, the game was awarded Game of the Year by Nintendo Power Magazine.
Rightfully so.
Sold over 4 million copies and is still one of the best-selling NES titles of all time. Mm-hmm. The game actually brought real huge success to the PAL regions, Europe and Asia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they ended up bundling it with the Nintendo and labeled it the Mutant Machine. Boosted sales of the Nintendo Entertainment System by 2,000% in Christmas of 1990 over there.
Are you kidding me?
Kid you not.
Oh,
that one bundle with that game. The Nintendo UK marketing director, he had done an at the time, the UK Nintendo marketing director had done an interview.
Yeah.
And they said Nintendo was strongly against the bundle happening because the game itself was not a licensed Nintendo creation. Mm-hmm. But due to whatever rules and restrictions they had over there, they couldn't stop them from doing it.
Right.
So then, A little bit later, we actually got the game that you were talking about, the TMNT 2, the arcade game is what it's referred to as.
Okay.
It also came out in 1989.
Because I thought I was talking about the Nintendo game.
Well, the arcade game ended up being a port to the Nintendo.
Oh, okay.
And that's what you're remembering.
Am I?
Yeah, originally a coin-op style, drew its inspiration directly from the success and story of the cartoon. 100% followed the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody knows this game if you've ever been in an arcade. The cabinet has a very iconic design.
Yeah.
There's 4 controllers. Each controller is the turtle's color, and you controlled that turtle.
Yeah.
It's what's referred to as a side-scrolling beat-em-up game. It inspired the Simpsons arcade game, which was another very successful beat-em-up game.
Yeah.
And here's the fun fact for you. The arcade cabinet is number 1 on the list. A pristine condition cabinet goes for $4,300.
That's it?
I kind of thought that was a low number too, honestly.
Did they forget to move the decimal?
That's what I thought. I double-checked it, and no, about $4,000 you can buy one.
I think you got me sounding more confused than I am, because I pulled up a YouTube of the Nintendo game.
Yeah.
And that's what I played. For real.
Which one? What do you mean?
The Nintendo game.
The one we just talked about?
Yeah. With the swimming and defusing the bombs and
yeah.
Yeah.
That was the first one.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I was referring to.
Earlier, you were talking about like a skateboarding downhill scene.
Oh, yeah. No, that was
fighting.
Me and my brother-in-law were talking about that.
Yeah, and fighting Bebop in front of a car.
That one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, those are from the arcade game version.
All right, I've connected.
Yes.
Again, we are old people now.
It's okay, Sonny.
Huh?
Hey, what?
Huh? I pooped him.
Yeah, it happened.
Yeah, I pooped him.
So other than the port to the NES, only being 2-player, it's a direct port. There were no changes done at all. The cover art shows the 4 turtles busting through a brick wall riding on skateboards. On the cover, there's actually a logo printed on one of the bricks that says Cowabunga, free personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut inside.
Really?
Yeah, so just for getting the game, you got a free personal pizza.
Wow. I wonder how many people missed that one.
I bet those coupons are still laying around somewhere.
Coupons.
So the story of this game is pretty much identical to the first game, except the life transformer gun is missing.
Right.
It starts with the turtles on a rooftop, accompanied by Splinter. Out in the distance of the New York skyline, there's an apartment building on fire, which is April's apartment. Now, if you'll remember, that scene happens in the movie as well.
Yes, it does. Well, it only catches fire because the Foot came in and completely shredded it, and we're chopping up the electrical lines because that's what you want to do.
Exactly.
With metal weapons and rubber boots and everything else.
That scene from the game and from the movie were both taken from issue, I can't remember if it was 5 or 6 from Mirage Comics. So that's where they drew the inspiration for that.
Did they also pull the inspiration for Wheel of Fortune, dude, from that?
Basically.
Right on.
A fellow chucker, eh? All right, so the turtles jump off the roof, and the game starts in April's apartment building. You're somewhere running around.
Right.
And the game's pretty straightforward. It's not a lot going on here, but it's still fun. It's a lot of side-scrolling while attacking Robotic Foot Clan members. And there's different colors, and they all have different attacks. Some have swords, some throw boomerangs, some have sledgehammers, some have flamethrowers.
Jeez.
Each level has a boss at the end, and almost every boss shows up using these little vehicles that actually burrow from underground that are directly from the cartoon. It's how they got from the Technodrome up to New York.
Yeah.
So at the very end of the first level, pops up right in April's apartment, and Rocksteady jumps out. And it's so easy to beat these guys. Literally, all you have to do is stand in front of him and jump and attack over and over and over, button mashing, and he won't do anything but just take damage till he dies. And you can do that for every boss in this game.
Pretty much.
Yeah. The next level, you're outside on the street in front of April's apartment, a few dozen foot soldiers, and then you finally fight Bebop at the end in front of the car. Third level, you end up back in the sewer. Mm-hmm. They introduce the Mousers.
Okay.
And the boss at the end of the level is Baxter Stockman. Now, he's in his fly form, but he's flying around in some, like, contraption. He's not just flying around. It's real weird.
Because why would you want to fly around under its own power?
No, that would be crazy talk, sir. Surely you jest.
Surely I don't. And don't call me Shirley.
Don't call me Shirley. Apparently in this level, you must be inside for a few months because when you come outside, there's snow everywhere. I don't know.
Time cut.
Yeah, basically.
It's time cut.
Yeah. So in this level, there's actually a Pizza Hut sign.
Ooh.
It doesn't have like the roof logo. Mm-hmm. It just says Pizza Hut.
Oh, okay.
There's some boss at the end. Looks like a bipedal dog in an outsider's jacket. Like I don't know who he is. I've never seen him before.
That's a great description.
Yeah. So finally beating him reveals that there's actually a weather changing device, and when you destroy it, it instantly changes the city from winter to spring.
Mm-hmm. Didn't I see this plot line in Batman the Animated Series?
You did, sadly.
Dr. Freed, yeah, okay. Just making sure.
Yeah, it was sad.
Okay.
Leo walks across the 8-bit landscape. He stops about halfway and looks at the player, and a little bubble pops up, and it just says, "Spring is here." And then he turns his head and keeps walking. So cheesy.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Level 5 takes place in either a very long parking garage or a one-way street with only parking on the north end. I'm not real sure.
They're getting ready to pave.
Yeah, that must have been what it was. Must have been pothole season.
Well, it had been winter.
Yeah.
Spring, so.
You've been in Ohio in the winter.
Yes, I have.
And then you've seen the potholes in the spring.
Yep. And they won't do a damn thing about it for a year.
Nope, not even a little.
That's not true. They'll let them get bigger.
Right. When they're pot craters.
Yeah, when you're losing full-size trucks and SUVs. All right, fine.
Yeah.
I guess. I mean, don't you just pay tax dollars for us to sit around and watch Days of Our Lives or something?
Essentially.
Anywho.
So the boss at level 5 is Baxter Stockman, but this time he's actually out flying around. He has April held hostage in an elevator. Mm-hmm. After saving her, you actually hop in the turtle van.
Okay.
There's a little cutscene. She gives you a kiss on the head and says, "I owe you one." And then the story continues on to what looks like you're up on the overpass on a highway.
Okay.
And this one's actually kind of cool because this is the one you were talking about, the rocket-powered skateboards.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right.
The end boss in this level is Granitor.
Okay.
Yeah, big rock dude, which I had to look him up. I didn't know who he was.
Sure. Why not?
He has Splinter held captive. Mm-hmm. And so after you beat him, you're in a dojo fighting the Foot Clan. And at one point, a few white tigers show up. And it's Roy with the white tigers. What I do not understand. Boss in this level.
Because how could he be getting this work done with all the shouting?
With all the shouting. The boss in this level is a samurai that kind of looks like a mix between if a predator was a samurai.
Ooh.
Yeah, very weird looking boss. Couldn't find anything on it.
I might pay to see that one.
Right? Oh my god, that would be scary.
Just saying.
So you beat him, and then an opening in the floor kind of appears. You hop down and you're underground. Because why not?
Because reasons.
So at this point, they got to move the plot along, apparently.
Yeah, you got to.
So at this point, you come across the Technodrome, and you kind of hop inside for a little bit of ass whooping.
Okay.
So then you fight until you come across General Trag. The next level, you're still in the Technodrome, but it immediately begins fighting Krang in his full android body. Yeah, it's a pretty cool fight. After you defeat him, his suit blows up, and it just shows Krang kind of sitting there, rocking up and down with a little rocket under his ass, and then he just shoots off up into the sky.
Okay.
Yeah, real weird.
A little bit.
Yeah, and then...
Well, no, now granted, in the cartoon, he had like a little jet thing on that two-legged...
Right. But
whatever.
my question is, they're in the Technodrome. What the hell did he rocket into? The ceiling?
Haven't you seen Willy Wonka? I mean, where did really?
Sideways and slantways and...
Like, really? You're going to
basically.
You shatter glass with glass. Okay, right on. Whatever.
It happens.
And no one dies and gets cut to ribbons.
No. Who are we to judge?
It's, you and me.
Basically. So in the cartoon, there were like these doors that would open, and there was a portal to Dimension X.
Okay.
And after you defeat Krang, these portals open and Shredder comes out. I don't know why he was in Dimension X or why he comes out with his evil clone, but you end up fighting two Shredders at once.
Interesting.
I don't know.
You have my attention.
So, apparently while he was in Dimension X, he got himself some new gauntlets because they shoot lightning out a la Emperor Palpatine.
Why?
I don't know. It makes no fucking sense. Why? Here's the cool thing, though. When the lightning hits you, you turn back into a little baby turtle on the ground.
Yeah.
Who knew?
I checked out. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm done.
So here's the fun part. Beating the Shredder makes the entire Technodrome explode for some unreason known.
He swallowed the detonator? I don't know.
Well, I was thinking maybe he had one of those devices in his chest like Martin Sheen had in Spawn, where if his heart stops, like it releases the poison mushroom cloud.
You push his life alert and he blows up?
I think that's what's going on here.
Okay, right on. Wow,
Tit for tat.
Dude, I haven't seen Spawn in forever.
No?
It's been.
I thought you'd appreciate that
It's
comment.
been a good long while. I do appreciate it. I have not seen that movie in a long while.
So the epilogue, a little logo pops up and it says, this is what it says. Freaked the Foots, mangled the Mousers, and totaled the Technodrome. That's turtle power. But what about the Shredder and Krang? Burned to toast? Vaporized to milkshake? Or escape to Dimension X? Until we know, none of us can sleep safe in our beds. Or shells.
Find out next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Exactly.
Pretty much, yeah.
It was super cheesy.
Oh, my Lord.
But that is like one of the best, very close second, best turtle game ever.
Right.
In 1990, there was a Game Boy only game called Fall of the Foot Clan.
Mm-hmm.
In 1991, there was a game called The Manhattan Mission, which was for DOS only.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. There was actually a pretty sweet pinball game that came out in like 91-ish, and it actually had the voices of the cartoon characters in it.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, oddly enough, the bowling alley that we went to when I was a kid had it.
Right on.
Yeah.
I've never gotten to play it.
We would bowl like 3-4 games and then go play pinball for
hell yeah. That's what you did.
Yeah, that's what you did on a Sunday.
At the very end of 1991, there was a Turtles game called Turtles in Time that came out for the Super Nintendo, and it was also an arcade.
Yeah.
And then TMNT 3, The Manhattan Project, came out for the Sega Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So they got the license.
No.
They got the licensing.
No, I'm sorry. I messed my notes up there. TMNT 3 came out in 1992 for the Super Nintendo. And then the Sega Genesis got a game called the Hyperstone Heist. That was a Sega-only game.
Okay.
Game Boy got another solo game called Radical Rescue in 1993. Mm-hmm. And that same year, the SNES, the Genesis, and the Nintendo got Tournament Fighters. This was a very Street Fighter kind of game.
Yeah.
Have you ever played it?
I've heard of it. I think I had seen it. I think I'd seen it in the stores, but I never actually played it.
Gotcha.
probably because, again, back in our day, we had to, like, get on our bike and ride 20 blocks to the Blockbuster.
Damn right.
Which, if you don't know what that is, get off my lawn.
Might as well get the hell out.
Yeah, you are not.
Go watch Captain Marvel.
You're not one of us. Why? They're not going to get the references?
No, but then they would at least go, oh, that's that building the old guys were talking about.
Oh, man.
The only other really thing I had to mention about the video games was, do you remember the Tiger electronic handhelds?
Mm-hmm, I do.
Turtles got 4 of those.
Really?
Between 89 and 95.
Wow.
The first one was just called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Second one was called TMNT 2 Splinter Speaks.
Mm-hmm.
Third one was called TMNT 3 Shredder's Last Stand. And then the last one was called Dimension X Assault.
Sounds like a really cool Star Wars title.
Right?
Just saying.
Sounds like a nice mashup.
It does. That would be a pretty cool mashup.
Yeah. Should try to find that.
I mean, if they're turtles, they're cold-blooded, right? So we can't drop them on Hoth for that.
No.
Because that wouldn't end well for them. And
probably not.
You can't stick them on Tatooine because there's nothing to hide under.
Well, you would have turtle soup. So fucking hot.
I mean, unless you want to, like, kill a bantha and make an umbrella out of Uncle Ben and Aunt Beru.
There you go.
Or what's left of them.
Boom.
Yeah, I went there, kids. I did.
Making me cry.
Cry? Where was the barbecue sauce, man? You're going to hold a block party, not invite people?
I ate a baby.
That kind of looks like a baby.
So yeah, those are all the notes I've got on the Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, and like we said, there were 3 movies, not in that Michael Bay crap.
No,
not that Michael Bay crap, but
old school.
Yeah, OG, and
the first one is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Which that deserves its own episode.
Which that's what we're going to do with the Patreon. We're gonna figure out how to warch it together with our socks on, of course. And we probably won't even say anything. It's just video of us watching the movie.
I mean, I liked what we did with The Last Starfighter. I think we can do a Turtles movie episode like that, but then we'll actually watch it for the Patreon.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So somewhere down the road you'll get a Ninja Turtle movie episode.
Damn right.
Yeah. Go Ninja. Oh God, that was
so bad.
So horrible.
Ninja rap.
I think I actually spent money on his record.
I think we all did.
Well, yeah.
He tricked us all.
Dude, I have this very distinct recollection because that was in 4th grade for me down in South Florida. Teacher leaves the room. We're sitting there left to our own devices. Somebody starts the first verse, and within 10 seconds, the entire 4th grade class of roughly 20 or so kids, we are all singing every word of
That's
Ice.
Awesome.
Ice, baby. Yeah. I mean,
well played, sir.
Yeah. So,
well played.
Oh, it was glorious and frightening at the same time.
I believe it.
I mean, it's more frightening in retrospect, but
yeah,
you get the point.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, aside from just playing the game, because I don't think I had the Game Boy games for it.
I don't think I've ever played any of the Game Boy games.
I don't either. I don't either. Which is sad. Yeah, by the way, have you gone to Shelby to try to track mine down yet?
I have not. I need to do that for you.
You really do. Now, I had the black Game Boy case with the shoulder strap, and it zipped up, and you had the 4 things for the games, and then the thing set in the middle, and things for your cords or whatever. I had, tracked that down.
I have one of those upstairs right now.
No one likes a bragger, dude.
Just saying.
No one likes a bragger.
It's actually not mine, it's the wife's.
Well, you put it in your car, possession is 9/10 of the law.
That's true.
You take it across state lines.
Then I become an international terrorist?
No, you're still in the same country.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Because you're either going to see snow or dirt.
It don't seem right.
The rest of it's America.
By God.
So, that pretty much takes care of the turtles, doesn't it?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we hit on all the important stuff.
I think we did. Except for the movie, but we already covered that. So
we got to keep them coming back for more.
Yeah, we really do.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out what we're going to do for the next episode, which I'll figure that out.
Hashtag brainstorming.
Yeah. Hashtag it's my turn.
Yeah. Give me a week off.
Dude, for real. You went above and beyond on this one because there was a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was that much.
No, I probably put double the time into these notes that I normally do. I wanted to give it justice. I mean, turtles are, a part of my childhood just like anything, but I feel like more of a part than most.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I really wanted to honor that.
Yeah. No, you did it justice, sir. So.
Salut.
Zadruzie.
Bless you.
Nostrovia. But
there it is.
What else? Is there anything else we need to talk to the kids about?
Just tell them to hit up our socials.
Yeah. Pretty much everything is at the Maximum Effort Podcast, save for the Tweety.
Tweeties.
The Tweety is effing Redux, depending on which side of the Manson-Nixon line you're on. It's EFFINGREDUX with the little at thingy at the front because, Twitter's racist and they only do 15 characters.
Jerks.
Dicks.
But yeah, definitely check us out on Instagram. Hit us up on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter.
Email us for God's sakes.
Yeah, tell us hi.
Just hi. Or be like JR. Tell us we suck. I mean, it's...
Call us out. We have no shame.
Call us out, man. We don't care.
We're not going to cry.
Be strong.
Promise myself I wouldn't cry. Party on! Anywho.
This whole thing is going to be me coughing for 2 hours.
Basically.
Jesus.
You're going to cut this down and cut out all the coughing, and we're going to have a 20-minute podcast this week.
Basically.
Basically.
Yeah. So,
all right, kids. Just in case you forgot, one last time, I'm Adam.
I'm Dave.
That guy right there.
That guy.
Yeah.
Wait, if...
Well, in the video, we're side by side, so that guy.
Okay, so that.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, wait, it depends on which side. I think I have to go this way.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'm going.
All right, we'll throw you that way.
Okay, we'll throw you that way. So.
All right, folks.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of maximum effort we just gave you. Hope you appreciated all of it.
We hope so. We love you, kids.
Night, night.
Good night.